Want to help support the channel? Then why not check out the merch that's available from the links below in the description. Help out the channel and get more phenomenal stuff for yourself. And now with that, let's jump straight into the video. Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today we've got to talk about some of the Ranger fandom and how most of them are ruining a lot of things for the rest of us. And it really does kind of irritate me when you see people turn around and having to stop communicating with the fandom after this is what we want. So before we jump into this video, if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit subscribe, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And let's speak about two things that have currently happened within the Power Ranger fandom and how we need to stop, or how most people need to stop. Now this is going to be a bit of a serious video. I've just recently released a video talking about the Power Ranger fandom, and I didn't want to have to make another one about this sort of subject because it does irritate me when I see this sort of stuff, because people can't get the social cue, they can't understand, and they have to kind of answer or ask this one question all the time: what's coming up? Now, I am a Power Ranger fan. You are watching this are a Power Ranger fan, or you have been a fan of the Power Rangers for such a long time. And do you know what is sometimes the most magical thing in the entire world is when people behind the scenes who are working on the show actually communicate with the fandom, give some tidbits, kind of answer questions that you have, and then it kind of really goes down south when some fans decide to turn around and take it into their own hands just to kind of get a scoop, or to kind of put their thoughts across. If you don't know who Simon Bennett is, he is the executive producer of Power Rangers and the head showrunner. So he has a lot of knowledge when it comes into it. Lots of fans will reach out to him and talk, and sometimes he will answer. And he doesn't have to do this whatsoever. He doesn't have to interact. And what happens is, over time, people take this a bit too far, and they'll start answering questions. They'll start trolling a little bit. We've had stuff in the trolling community where some person kept talking about female dinosaurs and stuff like that, and saying how this doesn't work and that doesn't work. And, fair dues to Simon, he kept his cool all the way through it. Now, these are the things that we do see all the time. Quite recently, on the 26th of December, he put out a tweet which read, "Just a reminder, I'm sorry to seem rude, but I'm not answering questions about Power Rangers on Twitter or Instagram. It's all got too much, so I had to step back." And that is a very good thing. Everyone has wished and said, Simon, take your time. Thank you for answering all these questions that have popped up over time. You don't have to answer them, so thank you very much for giving us an insight. But some people do take it a little bit too far. Now, I've covered Simon on the channel quite a few times when it comes to Twitter, and it comes to things that are happening within the thing, where he tweeted out saying these shows would not be adapted, and people had to go at him. They went on and on and on, and they constantly just dogpiled and said you can adapt these, you're just doing it because you're too lazy, you don't want to do this. Here is my idea. And this has gone on for probably since the beginning, where Simon has interacted with the fans. So you kind of think that everyone would have read that and gone, that's absolutely fine. I won't ask any more questions, and most of us haven't. We haven't asked any more questions, and Simon's just tweeted out normal things. But this is how the fandom works. There was a user on Twitter that simply came up here and said, this is really hard to read from this user. They didn't actually do it properly. So it says, "You can use Power Rangers Hexagon project on this Sentai, and about the fusion from forget about it, you make the old style and whatnot. You make a battleizer mode for this 2 Red Rangers, same as you do in Time Force Red and Quantum Rangers. But I do not deforce you, is your choice is to choose." So you kind of think that reading this thing where Simon has said, I'm not doing this anymore, and I'm not talking on Twitter, you think that you would stop, and everyone turned around and said, just stop. So the guy replied again, "Sorry, can I ask you about Sentai will be adapted? Power Rangers 30th anniversary. I just want to give suggestions to you. I think Sentai is suitable to be adapted is Lupin Rangers versus Pata Rangers, because you can use the same concept from SPD and RPM like Lupin is RPM Rangers." And everyone just turned around and said, stop this. Just literally stop doing this. And This is the fact that the fandom has gone too far to push out one of the best of people to talk about Power Rangers, because this never really happened back in the old day of Saban, of Disney, and this was a really nice treat because we could hear certain things, you know, when certain things popped up, we could easily hear stuff, and it was fantastic. But what irritates me so much is the fact that some fans want to keep pushing because, you know, they want to know every single fucking tidbit. I'm gonna get angry because I'm just sick and tired of fucking hearing all of this where they have to get the first words in, or they have to ask, or they want to try and probe so they can get you that gotcha moment. Like, hey, gotcha, Simon said this. And it has been used when other things have come up. When the rumored split of Hasbro and Toei came up, some people went out to town to say, hey, Simon said this, but when he corrected himself, those fans didn't correct themselves when he said no one knows what's going, everything is going up in the air. But right now, we as a fandom need to stop doing all of this shit. One thing is they cannot take your ideas. So if you turn around and give it a fucking great reason on why Super Sentai to be adapted, they can't use it for legal reasons. Simon has come out multiple times and said, if you give us something like a fan-made thing, we cannot use it for legal reasons. What do people do not fucking understand? Because again, if you make something fucking amazing, you can't use it because legally, and they could have been writing something like that, and you've just fucked it up, and then you all bitch and fucking complain. Can we please leave people alone when they're working on the show? If they want to share information, cool, let's take it, let's listen to them and go, that's really cool. Don't fucking force things down the fucking throat of them because you want something to be adapted, because you cannot get the premise of when they say, I cannot talk about this, or I cannot do this. It is fucking simple. Read what they say, do not go against them. Now, I think the biggest thing, which is one of the worst stuff, is when people go out the way to contact people's family. So you work on the show or you work in the comic book industry, and instantly you have people contacting your family, your friends, so that you can get certain things. And this is what another tweet came out from Ryan Parrott, who works on the Power Rangers comics. And he says, I don't know how to make this any more clear. Do not contact my family about Power Rangers. Don't call them, don't email them. No, I won't get you a job writing the book, and they will not put you in contact with me. Please stop. This is the next step that we get in this, and it just doesn't seem to sink in with some fans. You know, you don't go after people's families, you don't go after their friends whatsoever so that you can get a scoop on this. You do not. You don't say like, hey, I want to work on the comic book. Here's my goddamn idea that I want Tommy Oliver to reign supreme. Because majority, I reckon most of the fans will fucking talk about Tommy. And they'll focus on Tommy bringing him back. And it'll all be about Tommy. Or whatever. Or some lame ass thing. Again, it will come into a thing where they can't use it for legal reasons. But you don't contact the family. You don't contact the friends of these people that turn around and that have no kind of like influence on this. Like if someone did that to my family or my friends, if I was working on the show or if I was a comic book writer or whatever, and someone turned around and said, hey, someone's been trying to get in contact to you through me, they're asking for a job or they're asking for this, I would literally turn around to that person and tell them to fuck off. You know, it's simple. Is if you're contacting my friends or family, that's not on, and you shouldn't be doing this anyway. What is it going to accomplish? Are you going to work on it? No, because you don't do that. You go through the fucking proper channels. You apply. You show your work via that they ask you, not go after someone. Now, one thing that does really get me is the fact is that some people don't understand the social cues on this. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it if someone contacted your friends and family and went on about it all the time. You would absolutely hate it, and you would cry out and go, oh, they're messaging me. Oh no, what are we going to do? You just wouldn't do it. So for Ryan to put this out on Twitter, you know, he could private his account at any point. He may not interact anymore, and he may only talk to people via the right like sources or channels and stuff like that. People that he knows that he can trust. But again, a random Power Ranger fan that turned around and says, I've got a really good idea for a book, and it involves Tommy Oliver coming back and being the only Ranger in existence, and he has every single Power Ranger power from Mighty Morphing all the way to Dino Fury. It'll be so good and it'll be so amazing. It wouldn't work like that. It irritates me that you don't have common sense to turn around and actually not do this, because again, you wouldn't. So I think as a fandom, this fandom is now getting out of hand. It's getting to the point where we can't have nice things. We have to either have everything straight away, via something, or we can't do something that, celebrates it because we jump down each other's throats because it's something that we don't like. At the end of the day, we shouldn't be doing this at all. We should be waiting. And I can see now why Hasbro, as well as like other companies like Boom, or even the showrunner of Power Rangers, turns around and doesn't want to talk about anything or even come out and say anything. And it's embarrassing. I feel at times embarrassed to be a Power Ranger fan because there are people contacting people's family for wanting a job on working on the comic book, or they're telling the showrunner, who knows exactly what he's doing, because Dino Fury is a good season. If you don't think it is, that's cool, but at least we can agree that the show has turned around and is a better product than what we've had for fucking years. So you kind of think that they know what they're doing, and if you ruin it, you're just going to push these people away that are not going to want to interact at all. And there are people that want to say thank you to Simon, to say thank you to Ryan, to say thank you to people who work on the show. And now it's making it so much harder that they're going to kind of roll back and say, we're not going to interact with anything. And regardless of them saying that we're not going to answer stuff, there are people that will keep asking them questions when Simon goes, I had a really nice day today. The walk was absolutely amazing. And then suddenly someone jumps down and has a go at him because their show wasn't that great. And one thing that really did irritate me, and I didn't really say anything at the time because I kind of missed it, but there was apparently one person on Twitter that actually turned around to him and said, hey, has anyone called this person a racial slur? Because they wanted to know, and they were a fucking troll account. While another account turned around and said, fucking answer him, coward. What? Fucking answer him. What do you think this does? It doesn't prove fucking anything. Bringing this video to a close, we need to stop contacting these people for the scoop, for the thing that they can't talk about because they sign an NDA. We need to stop contacting people to say, hey, I want a job in this industry for writing a comic book, when they can't give you a job writing because they already have their staff and it's not their choice. So can we please stop doing this? Can we please stop being a fandom, and a franchise that gets laughed at? This is the reason why a load of people laugh at us, and the people who do it in other fandoms as well, fucking stop that as well, because you get laughed at. We want to be a good fandom, but every single time I see stuff pop up like this, I get embarrassed, and it makes me not want to really cover a lot of stuff because of this. So at the end of the day, the message that I am going to give, and let's get really close to the mic, let's tone it down, let's be calm, okay? Stop fucking contacting and ruin it for the rest of us. I think that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell. Check out the merch. And also, I really hope I don't have to keep making videos about the fandom, because I will if things get really fucking out of hand. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができるよ。